What's poppin', people? It is podcast episode 85. Pulling out of the car wash now. You know, I had to get the car wash and sweep it out after the beach. Had a ton of sand in the back, especially where Nora sits. I'll tell you what, man, there's nothing like having a kid in your car. They do not care what kind of mess they make. They do not care. Actually, it wasn't too bad, other than the fact that there was just sand everywhere. And she likes to, if she gets like a piece of candy too, she'll rip up the wrapper in a million small pieces, just to do it. It's all good, baby. It's all about being a kid. Happy Memorial Day, by the way. It is Monday. Of course, we're all off work, which is really nice. Got my workout in. It's really cool. The gym is right by the car wash, so typically I'll hit the gym, hit the sauna, then hit the car wash, all on my way back home. Just kind of knock out a few things. And it's definitely nice, I'll tell you that. Man, yesterday we had... So my wife went camping with her family. Campsite was about an hour away, so I couldn't stay out there because we got the dogs. So yeah, man, I actually had time to myself to get to record, like a lot of time. And man, I finished 5 songs yesterday. 5 songs and actually laid down 1 hook. So your boy was cooking yesterday. Your boy was cooking. And it felt good, man. I'm telling you what. I felt like I just broke through some barriers. Broke through just a little bit of mind fog. A little bit of writer's block. It just was really nice. It was really nice to have time to myself and not really have to worry, about what time I have to be done, or damn, it's getting late, I should probably go to bed, all that shit. I didn't have to worry about it. And I think I started around like 4 o'clock, and I didn't end up getting out of the studio until about midnight. And I texted my wife and I was like, look, I just cooked, and I'm not even tired. I'm still ready to go. But it did get to a point where I was like, damn, my voice hurts, my throat hurts. I should probably call it a night. And, man, I feel like I've just been in the zone, and it feels really good. It really does. Especially coming back from vacation, you're kind of getting back to your routine, getting back to life. And, I didn't really get a solid... I think I recorded once, maybe twice, when I got back home. So, yeah, last night was definitely productive, for sure. For sure. Man, one thing I've been learning, and one thing that's kind of been on my mind recently, I spoke about the car wash, I spoke about the gym, but one thing that's been on my mind is how you do one thing is how you do everything. So how you do one thing is how you do everything. So what that means is, if you, what I take it to mean, if you're really good in one area, you're probably really good in other areas too. Or if you're really bad in one area, you're probably a little bit of lackluster in some of the other areas. So, when you hit the gym, your body starts to change, your mind starts to change, you're pushing through these physical barriers. And when you start to hit the gym, you're really excited, you're really pumped about, just getting going. But once you start to progress through the gym, you've been going for weeks, months, years, you start to tap into new levels of, damn, this is hard. What other shit in my life is hard that I might not be, pushing towards or just running away from because it's too hard. And I really realized, like, damn, the more I push myself at the gym, the more productive I am in all the other areas of my life. I talked about having such a productive session last night. Well, right before that, I hit the gym for 2 hours. And not that the time really matters, but the amount of work that I was able to put in those 2 hours, I felt like helped me realize, like, damn, okay, I just did that. Let me go do this in the studio. And another thing, that I was able to knock out earlier this week, I literally cleaned the whole damn house. I was able to, cleaning's typically not my strong suit by any means. It's definitely one thing that I'll organize, I'll pick shit up, but cleaning, I just realized it's something that is hard that I kind of run away from. And the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. If I'm busting my ass at the gym, busting my ass in the studio, busting my ass at work, I should also be busting my ass at home, cleaning up. That way my wife doesn't have to do it. My wife doesn't have to worry about it. But also, the way you treat yourself is also how you treat others. If you're constantly working on yourself, you're focused on getting better, putting good stuff in, getting good stuff out, you're gonna utilize that within your relationships. You're gonna want to put good stuff into your relationships. If you're filled up with love, you give love automatically. You're just positive. If you're a positive, self-loving person, you're going to automatically give that love out to others. But in turn, it's the opposite. If you're constantly picking on yourself, you're filled with doubts, you're filled with negativity, you put garbage in your mind, garbage in your mouth, garbage in your body, you're going to give garbage out to others in your relationships. So, the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. Somebody asked me one time, if there was $1 million on the other side of whatever action you take, like, let's say, hey, you hit the studio hard, and somebody, after your session, somebody's going to give you $1 million. Would you do it? If I told you, hey, if you did all the laundry in your house, and afterwards you had $1 million, would you do it? Of course, everyone would do it. And sometimes we make like these easy tasks, like laundry or cutting the grass, or whatever, meal prepping, whatever. Sometimes we make the easiest shit so hard on ourselves because we overthink it, we procrastinate, we put it off, we try to find other shit that preoccupies our time instead of just doing it. Instead of just doing it and setting your future self up for success, because your future self is going to thank you for doing the laundry that you just did. If you knock it out today, you don't have to worry about it this week. Another challenge is like, hey, if you hit the gym this morning, you're not going to have to go later on tonight. You don't have to worry about it tonight. You can go home and you can do what you got to do. So I always try to, at least recently, I've been trying to really focus on doing hard shit first. Knocking out the hard shit. If you knock out the hard shit, life just becomes a little bit easier. Just a little bit easier. And you'll have more time for the things that you enjoy doing. And you don't feel guilty about doing it. Because you already did all the hard shit. You've taken care of all the responsibilities. You've taken care of shit that maybe you've been putting off, procrastinating on. So now you can enjoy sitting down and watching episodes of whatever show you like. Or you can enjoy just fun shit. Fun shit that you like to do. Playing video games or whatever you like to do, you know? But the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. So I don't want to be lazy in one area of my life and busting my ass in another, because that laziness is going to catch up. And eventually that laziness is going to get in the way of the areas where I am busting my ass. You know, if I'm really lazy in my marriage, it's going to reflect in how I treat myself. If I'm really lazy at being a dad, well then my kid's going to suffer because, as a result. And if my kid suffers, then I automatically suffer. So actually that laziness is like a knife that I'm stabbing in myself. Whereas if you just do the hard shit and not worry about it, things get easier. And like I said before, I feel like some of the shit that we consider to be hard is actually not hard at all. And we're just overthinking it. We're just procrastinating. So, yeah, man, that's been on my mind recently. Sorry for preaching. Sorry for coming off a little harsh, but that's how we have to do it. And you know that I'm just talking to myself mainly. All of these podcast episodes are really just lessons for myself, from my kids as they get older, or as Nora gets older, whoever, maybe some friends that might need to hear it. But it's definitely for me, because I need to hear it. But it's all good, baby. I hope everyone's enjoying their Memorial Day weekend. It's been really nice, just to have some days off. The weather's been really pretty. I mean, it's gorgeous out today. Sunny, low 70s. Can't beat that. But, yeah, man. I'll try to tap in with you guys later on this week. We'll see what happens. Can't make no promises, but I definitely just want to thank you for constantly supporting and constantly listening. Or if you're new, thank you. I definitely appreciate you spending your time, your life with me. You didn't have to, even if it's just 15 minutes or whatever. That means a ton to me. That means a lot. So I definitely appreciate you. And yeah, we'll talk soon. Much love. Peace.